Hello, peace and blessings, everyone. I trust you're all doing well, and I hope we've all poured our libation this morning. Okay, so for myself and for many that are waking every day, the first question we ask ourselves is, what should I do after awakening? Should I just leave church and be at home? Do I need to join a group, organization? What exactly do I have to do? Do I need to leave my job? Do I need to leave my family? Awakening comes with its own challenges that most people don't talk about for fear of losing one thing or the other. But for me, one thing I was very sure of when I awakened was to start asking questions about who I was, what I needed to do in this life. And one thing I noticed, even for myself, and I'm sure for most people, is that before you wake up, a lot of things might begin to feel inconsistent in your life and around you. Either it's your job, some have jobs that on the outside kind of look very fulfilling, but when you go deep within them, they seem not to be very happy about their jobs and so many other things. So for me, I started asking questions more about myself than on the outlook, what Christianity was and what it had done to me. And today I feel it's very important we talk about divination. Okay, so in the first place, this topic is very broad and I may not have all the knowledge, but the little I've learned I wanted to share. So in the olden days, we had diviners or traditional healers or whoever was in charge of like communicating with the spiritual world or being a medium between the two worlds. So when a child was born, depending on the culture of that community, the child was taken to the traditional priest or diviner to find out the mysteries of that child. That is why that child was born, what that child is going to do in this life, as to if that child reincarnated anybody, and even if so, what was the karma of this person, or is the person meant for good. So basically it was to give mystery as to who a particular person that had been born had to be. It didn't mean that that person may not have trouble in this life, but even if the person will have trouble in this life, the essence of the divination was to find out these things early on in life, so that if there's any ritual or sacrifices to be made on behalf of this child, the parents know these things. That's why we have all these taboos and allergies and all that, because ideally there are some things some people don't even have to eat, and this divination will help the family know all these things about the child. But as we all know, when Christianity set in, they branded everything of ours so evil that people didn't want anything to do with our traditional leaders and priests and our diviners and all that. And this is where it has ended us. So for most of our parents, they wouldn't even dare mention the name of the traditional gods. I've heard so many instances of people whose parents, on the verge of their children dying, saw the need to visit these traditional priests, and then they would even give the children marks and all that, but somehow when these children grow up, because of the brainwashing of Christianity, they feel they don't have anything to do with these gods, and they just abandon them just to take a fake lord as their personal savior. And for most of us, our parents didn't know these things, or even if they knew, they refuse to do them for us. And that is why I have noticed, even for myself and a lot of people I speak to on the traditional path, is that just before the awakening or in the moments leading to the awakening, a lot of things were happening in their life that didn't make sense, that were inconsistent, that were like people were on the verge of breaking, in terms of everything that had to do with them. And so for me, when I awakened, one of the most important things I felt was necessary to do for myself was to find a diviner. That alone is also not easy, because we have a lot of fake ones of them roaming about the streets and on the internet, and you would want to be very careful as to who you contact, but all the same, they are still the good ones. And I trust that even as you watch this video, you'd pray to your spirit guides and whoever is in charge of your well-being to help you contact good diviners who can give you mysteries about your life. Most of the time, people also ask, well, does it mean I can't have a life without a diviner? I'm not here to answer that question for everyone. I mean, we have come from different backgrounds and circumstances to be awakened. For some, somehow they already know they have to do in this life and they are moving on in that. For some of us, we needed to see diviners to help us reorganize our lives and everything. So even as you walk this journey, I pray for peace, I pray for blessings, I pray for wisdom and intuition and abundance in everything you do.